All throughout this bear market, you've probably been DCAing, dollar cost averaging, into only Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? If that's the case, you've got it all wrong. Because if true, it means you've been missing out on some of the major potential profit-making opportunities. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 such altcoins. At present, they are very undervalued and tend to be underlooked, but really have very strong fundamentals. All 3 of these projects are starting to gain attention. Whales in particular are taking notice. We have a couple of more obscure entries on this list, but I'm sure you've heard of at least one of the altcoins that we're covering today. We are counting down our 3 most undervalued projects in cryptocurrency. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. I'm always going to wish you the very best of luck if you choose to invest. Just remember and keep in mind that I'm not an official financial or investment advisor, which of course means that this video is not official financial or investment advice. Be sure to be checking out Randy's daily technical analysis videos. As I mentioned a couple of days ago, these are now coming out on our Altcoin Buzz trading channel, which has been dormant for a couple of years, but you guys should check that out. Tuesday through Friday, you're going to be able to find Randy's TA. He always covers Bitcoin and really whatever other altcoins are making news in terms of price action, whether to the upside or the downside. So check that out. I'm going to link to today's video as well as the Altcoin Buzz trading channel in the description below. Okay, let's kick off with what is, I'm sure, the more familiar one on this list and one of my personal favorites when it comes to general projects, really, but in this case also an undervalued and overlooked altcoin gem, Chainlink, ticker LINK, L-I-N-K. Chainlink is one of the earliest blockchain oracles connecting the crypto market to the outside world, so it's got a hugely important role. Chainlink effectively allows blockchain apps to access data outside their network, and there's been a growing need for these kinds of solutions, which is promising for the token, LINK, L-I-N-K. Chainlink launched its cross-chain interoperability protocol, that's the CCIP, on its mainnet in July of this year, and that took the project to really another level. CCIP creates a standard communication system between different chains. So we can kind of say that it connects different DeFi platforms with different chains. CCIP already supports Avalanche, Ethereum, Optimism, and Polygon, aka Matic networks. There's more to it though, because top DeFi lending protocols Aave and Synthetics have also adopted CCIP. And Chainlink CCIP also has an application for traditional finance platform. Chainlink actually said the CCIP will create a private-public dynamic that will give traditional finance access to digital assets. And when it comes to partnerships, Chainlink is not always a project that we think of, but it already has partners in the traditional finance space, some pretty impressive names, including Swift, BNY Mellon, Citigroup, and BNP Paribas.
Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?
So these are all great developments, but why has it not reflected in the price of LINK? Well, it's because people like us tend to ignore it, actually. Every coin in the top 20 assets by market cap except LINK saw negative returns last week, but LINK had one of the best performances in the sector, actually. Now, that doesn't mean much, but it does perhaps suggest that people pay more attention to it for the gem that it is, or at least they're starting to. Because as we've been discussing recently, check out this video if you've not already, there's been a lot of increased wallet activities. Data from Santiment showed that there's been over 4,000 unique active LINK wallets, and this is the highest wallet activity recorded since July. So LINK could very well be starting to wake up. Long term, I think it's a solid bet. Yes, I have my bias, but I think this is a great project at a great price, really, ahead of the bull run that's coming up. We've just shared our latest holding in Altcoin Buzz Alpha, and guess what? It includes some new gems and DCA, that's dollar cost averaging opportunities. We've navigated September very well, and it looks like October is going to be full of opportunities, starting with a very strong IDO. So do not miss out on the action. Join us by clicking the links in the description below. Next up, and at number 2 on our list, Illuvium, which was really one of the most anticipated blockchain games. But the price of the game's token has fallen very significantly over the years, let's be honest. But nevertheless, Illuvium has great fundamentals, and that is our focus. And just in case you're totally unfamiliar, Illuvium is a decentralized studio building the first interoperable blockchain game, that's IBG Universe, on the Ethereum blockchain. And so Illuvium provides games with top graphics, great sci-fi adventures, And the team is really focused a lot on ownership for players. So it leverages blockchain tech to give players complete ownership over their in-game assets. And Illuvium has several features that help it stand out. Things like layer 2 integration, the Illuvi DEX. So Illuvium also features a built-in decentralized exchange platform. Users can use this exchange to trustlessly exchange Illuvium assets, which of course include Illuvial NFTs. There's also yield farming, about 3 million ILV, equivalent to 30% of the maximum supply. These are allocated to the Illuvium yield farming program. And Illuvium really stands toe-to-toe against other games like Axie Infinity. Most people prefer Illuvium because of its easy-to-understand nature. And the number of unique active wallets on Illuvium has increased by 20.28%. The transactions have also surged by 26.53%. So really, Illuvium has some serious potential among blockchain games, but it tends to be overlooked. It definitely took a hit, there's no doubt about that, but I would wager, and I feel strongly, that its best days are still ahead. Okay, and finally, last but not least for today, we're looking here at Goldfinch. Goldfinch Finance is a leader in the RWA narrative. This is real-world assets. And many believe that tokenization of real-world assets is really one of the best use cases out there for blockchain. If you agree with that statement, then Goldfinch needs to be on your radar because they already had $100 million in active loans out in the marketplace, and they pay investors like yourself, like myself, 7.8% on USDC deposits into their pools, which is a fantastic figure. They've earned $100,000 in fees alone in just the last month. So that puts them on track to earn over $1 million in fees over the next year, about $1.2 million if the trajectory continues. And remember, right now, fees and revenues are down across the entire industry. There's almost no new liquidity coming into the crypto market. Yet, with that being said, Goldfinch has the fourth fastest growing TVL in crypto, at least for last week. That's total value locked, up 11% or $1.4 million. And investors are finding Goldfinch, so it's not something that you ought to ignore. They have a great selection of projects to invest in as well, like African innovation, Latin American sustainability, carbon reduction fintech, or if you want, you just keep your coins in the protocol for that 7.8%. The terms of the loan programs run from 24 to 37 months, while your 7.8% is variable, and you can access it sooner if needed. You can also use your USDC to lend to real businesses all around the world, which is pretty cool. And Goldfinch is definitely in the ignored category if you look at its value, because its TVL, including loans, is a little over $100 million, while its market cap is only $25 million. Goldfinch has $11 million in its treasury, and that means the value of its loans business is only $14 million. 25 million minus 11 million equals 14 million, right? Just take the example of Uniswap. That trades at a 1.01 market cap to TVL ratio, whereas Goldfinch is trading at 0.25, which is a fraction of Uniswap's ratio. So just to get up to that same ratio, market cap to TVL, as Uniswap, that would do a 4x for Goldfinch. And really, this is just one metric among many. This is definitely a massively ignored project. If you want, you can take advantage of that.